Hey guys, I want to show you a really entertaining game I played against Grandmaster Last Seven Samurai. His real name is Semil Khan Ali Mirandi, and his FIDE rating is 2543. And a really strong player, his bullet rating is 2906, and Blitz is hovering around the 2800 mark. So when I played him, he was rated 2826, and that's the highest rated opponent that I've beaten in the Drunken Master Opening. So let's see this game and see how it went. So I played white. So I played c3, and I went slowly into my Drunken Master setup. And at this point, I'm also going to show you some of the reactions from this Grandmaster from his stream. So let's bring that up and see his reaction here.
More. What is this guy doing? Are you drunk, sir? Dude.
So I play g4, and he's like, "What's going on here? Like, I don't understand. You drunk?" And my username is the Drunken Master. So I think that he was also doing a play on words there, but he didn't handle this position correctly. So let's see what he did. He played pawn to e4, which he's trying to undermine the structure here. And lichess says it's a blunder, but I don't agree with that assessment. But he played e4, but then he didn't handle the remaining part of that line correctly. So I played g5. Well, I took this first, then I played g5. And in order to refute this setup of white, he has to forget about this knight and play a move like knight to e5, or he has to play e takes f3 and sacrifice this piece. And then white's position is really compromised. But instead, he played knight d5. Obviously, I can't take on d5 because bishop g3 check and loses my queen. So I played f4, and I'm closing this out here. And the strategic plan for black in this position is to hit f4 and engage in a trade of pieces here to sack a piece here and hit this pawn chain here, and then white's position starts to crumble. But he misplayed this position. Instead, he played slowly, played bishop e6, which allowed me c4. And again, that was his strategic idea, but he missed it and played knight b6. So if he had played here takes and pawn takes, then the point is he gets knight d4. And it's really hard for white to dislodge this piece and get all of the other pieces moving. And black's play is pretty easy. He can bring his rooks to the open files, and it's really hard for white to do anything with these pieces that are sitting here on the first rank. So anyway, he went here, and then I hit him with rook d2. Now this bishop is pinned to the queen, and around this point he began to sense that something's gone really wrong for him. So let's see his reaction at this point. So I'm gonna fast forward to the point where I played c4.
Well, I might have went a little excited here, but I'm good.
Now he began to sense that something's not right with his position here. So he played knight c8, and he thought he was good, but already his position is problematic because this pawn is in some trouble. And if I'd only played knight c3 immediately, this pawn would be lost, because if he plays, let's say, f5, then I have knight b5 ideas trying to hit this guy at some point. Maybe not immediately in this position, but that's a possibility. From also, I can just play knight g8 to knight g3, and I have a really strong structure here. Plus, I can play h4, h5, h6, try to undermine that in the future. So instead, I played bishop b2 because why not? I get this open diagonal. But that was not the most precise move. But anyway, queen c7, and now I play knight c6 because now I'm threatening knight b5 and takes. And then he had to play a6 to stop that, and he lost this pawn here. So let's see his reaction around this point.
I feel like his strategy is actually working out. I don't like this. Let's play a6. Okay, that pawn I missed.
He certainly did miss that pawn.
Okay.
So now he moves his bishop back, and he's gone completely defensive. And soon he's going to find out that he has to sacrifice a piece to get anything out of this position. I should have just calmly played knight f3 and prevented any knight d4 sacrifice ideas. But instead, I got excited with this bishop being here. I played queen a1, which attacks g6, and it pretty much forces black to sacrifice a piece, because if he plays g6, well, then that's a tremendous weakness. And I have moves like knight f6 at any point, and I just have this really powerful long diagonal. But I don't have to do that immediately. I can just quietly develop pieces, and I can maybe play h4, h5 at some point. But in fact, I could just play bishop h8, and that would force him to go knight d4 or f6 anyway. So he had to play knight d4. Now it's interesting the way he reacts to this move, because he said that he's going to do it for fun, but I'm not convinced that he had any other move in the position. So let's see his reaction.
I want to do this, but I also don't want to do that. That's true.
No chance with that song playing.
We gotta restart the song.
So he thinks about it for a while, and
Alright, let's do it for fun.
he says let's do it for fun. But truth be told, there was no good alternative to him in this position. So what we see here now is finally he's coming back to that idea that the computer was showing initially, with taking this pawn on f4 and creating some play for black. But now it's not sufficient because he doesn't have d4. And white can consolidate, which is what I did. Bishop g2, queen h4, but no problem. I just move away. He played f5, which was not accurate because I don't want to play gf6. I don't want to open the f file. So I simply moved away, took this pawn instead. He should have played f6, and I would be forced to close this file with g6, give up the pawn that way. But instead played f5, which made it easier for me to take on c5 and just keep this file closed. So he moves back, and then my pieces are coming out, and my king is getting safer. So I played knight d7, trying to consolidate with bringing this knight here, and now I'm in complete control. See, he wins this guy, but I'm happy to trade out that piece and start bringing my pieces over to the king side to consolidate. And there's nothing really he can do. He doesn't have any counterplay. My pawns are controlling the central squares. Gives a check, but now there's not much left. He even sacks this rook, but I say, no problem, I'm not interested in that. Queen g3. Now I'm threatening queen g7, so he has to trade queens, but that means that's pretty much game over, since he'll take, I'll take, and I'm threatening here, I'm threatening there, and it's game. So let's see that the end of the game here, and his comments as we get to that position.
By the way, I'm just like throwing this game because like I'm just out of words at this point. Yeah, this guy wins.
This guy wins. Well, what he means by that is this opening wins, and against a 2800 Grandmaster at that. Well, of course, it's a casual, not a casual, it's a rated. No, it's a casual blitz game, but still, it's not the kind of opening that you would expect to play against a 2800 player and beat him like this. So I really enjoyed this game, and I hope you did as well. And I'm going to let you in on a secret. This position here with e4 and takes and g5, I've probably played this a dozen times or more. And almost all of my opponents have fallen into this this trap of either letting me win this bishop or getting a really advantageous position. In fact, some of my opponents, instead of knight d5, have gone knight h5 and allowed me f4, hitting this knight, and then when they play g6 to stop that, I play rook d2, and that guy's lost. So I've won quite a few games in this line, and I hope you enjoyed this win against the 2800 Grandmaster. See you next time.